Now, talking about breaking out, Montez, you definitely have had some moments on your own, and this year's Elimination Chamber was one of them, no doubt about that. Now, I know you guys love teaming together, okay? But you got a huge reception coming out of that match individually. What was that experience like for you? And are you perhaps a little surprised it didn't immediately lead to more singles work?
The reaction to me was it was great. I loved every moment of it. But it also for me was motivating for me to know that I can do something like that in that environment, solo wise, because Elimination Chamber is a very difficult match. There's 5 other superstars involved, very strenuous, a lot of things going on. So I was just happy that I was able to do something like that on my own. Afterwards, no, I wasn't upset that it didn't lead to immediate solo things, because like it's still things I'm trying to accomplish as a tag team. And even like the boss says, like, good things come to those who wait. So it's not a rush for anything, but anything that's been placed in front of us or me, it's just looked at as like a task to do your best. And, coming out of that, could have won the United States Championship and then go on to win the undisputed tag team titles. I can have 2 titles at the same time. So the possibilities are infinite. But everything that happens here is always like a chance to show everyone what you can do and show another layer of who Montez Ford was. And I'm very fortunate that at Elimination Chamber, I was actually able to show people what they maybe knew, what they didn't know, and maybe add on another layer as well. So very fortunate in that.
Now, when it comes to tag teams in WWE, historically, there's just a trend, all right, that they always seem to split up at some point. And I am not being a wedge driver here. Don't get me wrong. All right. Nothing like that. But
okay. You're trying to start a pod, Adam. What you doing?
I already got, New Day already came at me one time I asked a question like this. So I've known to, step back a little bit, but they've done a great job, speaking of New Day, like bucking the trend, showing that you can have single success. Kofi can go win the world title. Big E can go win the world title. Xavier can be king of the ring, for example, yet still be in a group, be in a team, have someone that has your back. Has there been times in the last couple of years where a breakup's been pitched to you guys that you've had to fight against like they did? Has there been any point where that's something that you thought was just about to happen? It seemed like it was getting teased a little bit ago. Either of you can kind of answer. I'm not sure who might want to.
I feel like for us, it's never been anything that's been pitched or anything like that. But there were a couple of instances where we felt like they were teasing it a little bit. We have some backstage segments where, the draft will split you guys, or MVP will come up and say, hey, you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be accepting that. So it's been instances where people have tried to come in and add their 2 cents and try to, make it seem like it was going a certain way, but it never led that way. And, very fortunate that it didn't. But you know how people are, they like to stir the pot at them, like you. Love
hey,
to stir.
I'm just asking the questions, guys. I'm not trying to drive any wedges. All right.
Who sent you? Who sent you, Adam?
Yeah. Who sent you these questions?
Look, so you guys.
I will say though, like Adam, like it's like you said, it is a trend, and it's always one of the big arcs that happen. Like, oh, this could possibly happen to them, and it's always a good storyline trait to add to the tag team. But there's also like those ones where like they're still very successful without any beef. If you look at like rap groups back in the day, like, they'll start off as a group and want to go solo, and then they'll come back and still do like a combined project. You look at groups like Slum Village, Tribe Called Quest, those guys were groups before, and then, Q-Tip ventured off and did his solo stuff, and then they came back and still did things together as a unit, but it wasn't any beef, so